So Sledgehammer finally fixed some of the aftermarket parts that you can get for completing the weekly challenges, and one of them being for the tier pistol that kind of turns it into a sniper rifle. So with this thing being known as one of the absolute meta guns to use here in Modern Warfare Zombies, I figured I would jump in with this conversion kit and see how it's handling. So let's find out if this is still one of the best guns to use in Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. If you guys are into Zombies content or anything Call of Duty, please do consider dropping the video a like and subscribing to the channel, man. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers and you guys mean the absolute world to me. Starting off, we're going to be skipping the first tier zone because we already know even if it's an HVT, these things are just going to absolutely be deleting whatever it is. So we're going to jump straight into the second tier zone, and we got an HVT on a Disciple, and what do you know, there was another Disciple standing right next to it, and both of these things stood absolutely no chance. So I made my way on over into the third tier zone and I got an HVT on a Mimic. Now this thing actually gave me a little bit more trouble, but then again it could have just been my terrible aim. I ended up missing a few shots because I have a feeling this thing would have went down way faster, especially with how many like mega bombs and everything else we were going to put down in this video. Yeah, it did take me a few shots, and maybe it was just because I was a little bit rusty, but this thing eventually did go down pretty easily. I don't know, maybe I would recommend like a scope or a sight or something on this thing, because I don't know, maybe it's just my aim, but I was having a hard time getting this thing right on point to where I wanted it to be sometimes. So when I was on my way over to the next contract, I ended up running into this Mega Abomination, so I had to test this thing out, and honestly the damage on this thing is insane. You end up landing 2 shots directly in this thing's mouth. It only takes those 2 shots to pop one of the heads. It's just finding that opportunity to do it when he's really actually trying to beam you with those things. For some reason in this match, these things wanted to just continuously charge at me, but if you're gonna get lucky enough, you could honestly kill one of these megas in 6 shots. 6 shots. If you're able to line them up just right and you get lucky enough, you can kill one of these things in 6 shots. Next, I ended up getting an HVT on a Mega Abomination, and this guy was giving me a little bit more trouble, but mainly just because I was being swarmed by so many other zombies and mimics and everything else that was around me right then, so I kind of had to back up a little bit, reposition myself, and come back when I was a little bit more confident and there was less zombies around. But I had already taken care of 2 of the heads on this thing, so he went down really easily. And for an HVT, this is honestly really surprising. I don't know, man, if with the conversion kit or with the akimbos are better, honestly, that I think would have to be on your preference. I think they might be a little bit stronger if it's akimbo and you're hitting them at the same time, but this thing is very powerful and you can still hit those zombies from range. That's where this thing's really gonna help you. This is where things got a little bit crazy. I ended up running into another Mega Abomination, and I figured since the first few were so easy, I could just try to take on this one as well. Well, as soon as I started fighting this one, of course, he just wanted to keep charging at me, and I was running across the map with this thing pretty much. But I got to a point where we ended up running into another Mega Abomination, so I was kind of fighting both of these things at the same time. I was lucky enough that I had the first one kind of close to death, so I wasn't having to, you know, really deal with both of them at the same time. But having to deal with all of these zombies and all of these bosses and everything that was going on, man, I was really lucky that I found this Wonderwaff at the same time too. I mean, it was really helpful. But these things were definitely handling their own, and dude, I honestly don't think I've used anything else in this game that takes care of the bosses and zombies like this tier does. This pistol is just absolutely insane. If you guys can, I would use this thing right now, because you never know with Season 1 Reloaded that's going to be coming in just a couple of days, and we have Season 2 that's just around the corner. These things could honestly catch a really hard nerf. I have a feeling that they're going to try to switch up the gun meta a lot. It's kind of usually what happens in Call of Duty. They usually kind of, when they put out the game at first, things kind of stay the way that they are for the first few months while everybody goes on Christmas vacation and all of that. But once they're back in the studio, they're getting prepared for the next season, they usually really try to switch up the gun meta that's going on in the game. So I'm prepared for a pretty big switch up, and honestly, I'm kind of ready for it. I'm kind of tired of using the same things all the time, but these pistols are honestly amazing. If you guys aren't using them, you honestly should be. Man, it's just with my luck, it's just trying to get these guys to shoot their beams at me while I just need to get a couple shots in on them, and sometimes they just don't want to let me. Plus, I was dealing with this Disciple now that's here, and there's all these other zombies. This was just hectic. It was like a movie. But once I finally was able to beat the Mega Abomination that was right there and the Disciple, I figured that it would have been time to go into the Dark Ether. Not only to test these things out in there, but I ended up getting a sigil when I was doing some of these contracts here, so it's just kind of a good thing to go in there, see if we can farm up some of those acquisitions really quick. Especially since we came in here with Ether Blade, Golden Plates, and a Dog Bone and all that, we might as well go ahead and put these things to good use. Maybe just see if we can earn some of these things back. That's kind of an idea that I had for another video that I'm probably going to try to do. I'm going to try to completely fill my backpack with some of the rarest and best acquisitions that you can get in Modern Warfare Zombies, and I'm gonna see if I can in one run regain all of those things that I used for the match. I think that'd be a good video. Now we're gonna make our way into the Dark Ether here. Now if you're gonna come in here, I would usually advise you guys to have quite a few self-reses, maybe even like 2 or 3 of them, but I had a dog bone, so I wasn't too worried about it, and I think I had a self-res. Being fully geared up with all the good acquisitions, I wasn't too worried about it, but you never know. I've seen stranger stuff happen. Starting off here in the Dark Ether, we're gonna do the Ether Extractor contract, just because it's really easy to go for. When you come into the Dark Ether, you can just make your quick little path off to the left and grab the bunny from the top of the building. And I did test shooting off one of the heads of the Mega in here, and it did pop right off. I wasn't too concerned about trying to kill one of these guys, just because I've killed so many of them now in this match here. This tier is just an absolute monster. It is a Mega destroyer for sure. Now I saved my first decoy with the Ether Extractor because I noticed there was no zombies around, and I could use that with the second one. I think the Dark Ether and the Red Zone are honestly a lot easier than some people make them out to be. There's only a few core things that you guys really need to know or to do or to use in order to master like the Dark Ether or the Red Tier Zone, and that is just running with your fists out, having stamina up, making good use of your tacticals like your decoys, your monkey bombs, and things like that. Always have throwing knives on you because they handle the hellhounds and whatnot really well. Also, if you have an Ether Blade, be sure and throw it directly at your feet, so that way you don't even have to turn around when you have things right behind you. It's just doing all those little things, and then in the combination with everything, once you guys start doing it a lot, it just kind of becomes like second nature to you. With this Ether Extractor contract, we ended up getting a Wonder Waff case, which is alright. I mean, I would have rather had one of the good acquisitions, but yeah, that's alright. Now we find ourselves down here inside of the holdout mission, and the tier was handling itself pretty well, but I honestly almost forgot that I had a tier 3 Pack-a-Punch Wonder Waff with me, and it kind of saved my ass in here. I don't know about you guys, but the Wonder Waff has always been one of my absolute favorite wonder weapons in Zombies. The thing is just so iconic, and it's just so good. A little tip with the Wonder Waff: if you guys have this thing and if you got a bunch of zombies that are trailing you or whatnot, don't always try to shoot directly at the zombies. If you shoot on the ground that's around the zombies that you're trying to hit, it not only is it going to hit the zombie that it's closest to, but it's going to hit all those zombies in the area. And this contract was honestly an absolute dud. I think the best thing I got out of this contract was the Epic Ether tool. That's alright, I'll take it, man, I'll take it. I think that's going to be it, guys. I don't feel like doing the escort contract, especially without the VR11, because that thing's just without the VR11, that contract is an absolute pain in the ass. Thank you for all the love and support that you guys have been showing me on the channel here lately. I'm gonna throw up the loadout here one more time so you guys can see it. If you guys enjoyed the video, please do drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel if anybody is new. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I'll catch you in the next one.